Hey everyone, welcome to the first episode of the Nexus Podcast. I'm your host, Flarp, and with me I have Motobug,
Hey everyone.
Sabre,
Hi.
and Sheecacaa3.
Hey guys.
So this is the official Nexus Podcast, Nexus Cast, if you will. And so it's just going to be a casual podcast among friends. Right?
Whoa. I wouldn't.
Whoa there.
I don't know if we'd go
That's-
quite that far.
We're business partners.
Acquaintances at best.
Acquaintances with benefits.
Okay, so all of us are the Nexus staff. I'm the weenie podcast guy who gets everyone else coffee. Moto, what do you do?
Well, actually, are we gonna go over what we do just in the PMC in general, or just on Nexus?
Either
do both.
up to you.
All right. Well, I'm one of the main netplay devs, and I'm also part of this as basically all around guy. I can do pretty much everything except voiceover because I hate my
Brag
voice.
about it.
That's a good
That's
thing
why
you're
you're
on
on
the
the
podcast for
podcast.
everybody to listen to.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
All right, did you do older net play builds too, or just the current one?
No, just the current one.
Oh, that's
And-
lame.
Wow. Rude.
All right, Saber.
Moving on. Okay, so I'm one of the creators and admin for Nexus. I'm scriptwriter. I do some of the video editing, a couple voiceovers. In the community in general, I'm a TO. I'm one of the admin for the PM Rank project, which is the top 50 rankings every year. Standing member of the PM backroom, all that kind of stuff. Just
So
kinda all around.
basically, if you search Project M on Google, the next search result is Saber.
Yeah.
Because
Definitely not, but
everything.
I'd like to think so.
Did anyone else think Sabre's name was pronounced Sabre the first time they saw it?
So many people call me that. Oh my god.
I thought Saber was spelled with an ER, not an RE.
Look, man.
It goes both ways.
Light Sabre.
Do you go both ways?
Hey.
I'm not answering that question on a podcast. We're
We're
gonna move on.
No, we'll
to
never
She.
know.
Okay, what do you do in 5 seconds?
5 seconds?
Yeah.
Well, for
Starting now.
Nexus, I'm kind of the creative director. I'm one of the
Okay.
admin. I do the editing work. I do graphic design, a lot of the art assets like character renders and stuff. I've had a big role in that. I do stage editing and stuff, script editing. Basically, I'm kind of a jack of all trades for Nexus.
I already said that.
Hey, I use different words,
Yeah, alright, yeah, you got it.
but for the PM community, I do mainly montages and gameplay. So kind of entertainment content, and I try to focus on stuff that most content creators don't do. So not necessarily combo videos, even though I do have combo videos, but stuff like entertaining comedy kind of montages and stuff.
Or Mr. Big Shot over here. He's got 1 million subscribers.
1 million.
I didn't actually say what I do on outside of Nexus, so I make stupid combo videos and that's it. So that's everyone. What they do. And now onto what Nexus is, which you probably know more than I do.
So Nexus is it's a collaboration YouTube channel that's kind of meant to provide informational content about Project M, which was sorely needed. Like, we didn't really have anything or anybody doing kind of informational content. Like, we had the occasional analysis video and, or a set analysis, and, random people would upload videos about a particular move or something, but nothing like what you see on other Smash games, like SSBM tutorials, for example. So the origin of Nexus actually is kind of heavily based on my last big editing project that I did, which was the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Machinima parody,
That
which
was a good one.
doesn't have a ton of views. So if you haven't seen it yet, I was really proud of that one. So I'd appreciate it.
Oh man, get over this guy.
the
Shilling his
plug.
own video.
But anyway, after I posted that video, I was actually kind of preparing for it to take off. Like, I thought it was going to do really well, but my suspicions were kind of like sorely sorely off, because it ended up doing like a fraction of what I thought it would do. Like I thought just kind of the craziness and randomness of what it actually is, combined with the fact that machinimas used to be really popular with brawl videos, meant that I thought that video was going to do really well. So I got myself all excited for it because I really polished it and I did a good job on it. But it didn't do so well. So I kind of got really disappointed. And when I get disappointed about my videos, I go to the Content Creators Discord server, which is a server I started with Echo Storm, who does a lot of Melee stuff, and he has some PM videos too, who's also an admin for Nexus, and he does a lot of stuff for Nexus too. But anyway, I went to that Discord server and I started talking to people about how my video wasn't doing so well, and they were trying to cheer me up and whatever. And eventually it kind of boiled down to me being disappointed that entertaining videos in general didn't seem as popular. So like informational videos, did I say informational? I meant entertainment videos if I didn't say that. But informational videos for other games were just exploding. Like you have SSBM tutorials with like 60K views on every single video, and top player stream videos where they just give their thoughts about something or some tips about the metagame or whatever. And those videos were all doing really well, whereas I felt like entertaining videos, unless they were like really high quality videos by like known entertainers or content creators, I think entertaining videos haven't been doing as well. So I was kind of talking to people on the Discord server at the time, which was Nox, Sabre, Soj, and a bunch of other people. Nox being the guy who runs Nebulous in New York, and Soj being the ex-PMDT member. I was talking to them about what kind of content people actually want to watch, and if that's changed over time. Or maybe people just want to watch different things, you know? Gameplay used to be a novelty. Like, it used to be just something that, you know, people were just excited to see gameplay on YouTube, because back in 2008, the beginnings of YouTube, that wasn't a thing, you know? Any kind of gameplay, especially if it was edited at all, was novel. It was fun to watch. But we've gotten to a point where, you know, consoles are integrating video streaming, and there's so many different content creators out there that we kind of felt that people were oversaturated on just gameplay in general. So if that's the case, then maybe what people want is more informational stuff, more content dense and enriching kind of videos. And we kind of felt that there was this hole in the PM community's content creation where people didn't want to make informational stuff, even though it was so critical. Like, people all the time are asking about particular moves or characters. How do they work? How does this move function? You know, how are the tiers related to each other? Is there a tier list for Project M? And there's just so much misinformation about this game that we figured that there should be a switch in how content creators for Project M make content. They should start making it for informational, you know, awareness instead of purely entertainment. And it kind of, we were bouncing back and forth with each other and talking about, you know, what kind of videos we would make. And eventually we got to the point where we kind of realized that we could do this as a group. We could be the SSBM tutorials for Project M. And we kind of started formulating ideas about what this would be like. You know, could we function as a group, and how would this work? And it just kind of grew and grew, and until eventually we started like being serious about it. We were actually going to do it, which was such a cool feeling to kind of be there for the start of something that we knew was going to take off, which probably did. Anyway,
fingers crossed.
Yeah. We're not pre-recorded or anything like that. We're just yeah. But anyway, we kind of started spitballing ideas about what we wanted the channel to be and what kind of content we wanted, and eventually we kind of came up with the idea of what Nexus is today, or what it's going to be. So now I kind of want to read a little quote of what I was going to say, or what I was saying at the time, where the name Nexus came from. So this is me in August 7th of last year. I was thinking of some different names for the channel. I came up with a couple that I really like. I wanted it to reflect what the channel was going to be, but also sound unique. So I'm going to be like the hub, or it's going to be like the hub for Project M content, or like a gathering of creators, like a PM hub, or PM courtyard, or PM plaza. Other ideas are market, assembly, or other things like that. Everything PM is kind of meh and long, and PM Productions is pretty bland. And eventually, like through some thesaurus searching about different groups or communities or a gathering, we came up with the idea of Project M Nexus, where...
Do you remember who suggested that?
Me.
Yeah, that was she.
Oh, way to brag about it. Well, I had PM Network, and I thought that was cool.
It was all right.
Now I realize it's kind of late.
We thought PM Nexus was really striking. It had that X to kind of draw interest, and the name was short and sweet. We could really stylize it if we wanted to. So we ended up with Project M Nexus.
You were basically like, the X makes it sound cool.
Yeah.
It'll market it straight to the kids.
Yeah, I thought it was just so fitting too, because if you look up the definition of Nexus, it's like a collective like pool of something, or like a group, and it just fits so well. But the only downside was that apparently there's a PM tournament that was called like Nexus or something, like the Nexus.
It was a tournament on the Project M circuit in 2016. I want to say it was out of Arkansas, or somewhere kind of that South Midwest region. And that was called Nexus, but we looked into it, and basically there was going to be no sequel, there was no news of that organization or TO group running anything again, so we just took the name.
And
wait for them to announce it tomorrow.
Yeah. But anyway, the cool thing about that tournament is that it's actually kind of cover for Nexus, because we've been actually working on Nexus since August. So like six or 7 months now, we've been working on Nexus in the background, gathering people to... I think we have like over 30 members now, although it's not an active 30 members. But anyway, we have like a bunch of people working on stuff, and it kind of acted as cover. If anything got leaked, which it's amazing that nothing did, at least as far as I know. If anybody searched Project M Nexus, they would find that tournament before any of our stuff.
Yeah, it worked out very well.
Yeah, the Twitter's been public for like months, but nobody's found it. Or if they have, nobody's cared.
Yeah, well, at least nobody's commented on it, given that the Twitter follows a couple of us. So definitely nobody's...
And I think Wesley's following it.
Yeah, he is. So yeah, basically that's how the idea of Nexus came about. It was something where there were content creators interested in making the kind of content that Nexus is going to be working on, and who didn't have the ability to, or didn't feel like they had all the tools they needed. Like, to use myself as an example, I had ideas for content that I wanted to make that is now being realized through Nexus, but I'm someone, if you go watch my channel, my tutorials are super low production value, because I don't have graphic design ability, I don't have the ability to animate things or make super high production value videos the way that other people in this channel can. And so Nexus allows people who have different talents to come together and put together a product that none of us might be able to make by ourselves. And that's what I think will hopefully raise the bar for videos in Project M, is the ability of this group to combine different talents for a goal that we all share.
Yeah, something I think that was really cool about Nexus is that for a really long time, the whole Project M community has had wishful thinking about all these different like ideas. I want to make a video about a character, a guide or something, but nobody really followed through with it. And having something like Nexus where it's a focused, like extremely focused group that is dedicated to doing a specific thing, which is making these videos, it acts as like an engine for creativity for all of those ideas that would normally get tossed to the wayside because it's just one person writing and producing a whole guide. Well, now we have people doing different things. Like we have our admin, Sabre, myself, CND from California, Soj, who's ex-PMDT, and Echo Storm, who makes Melee and PM content. We have those people as our leaders, and then like 20-something members who are all doing individual things. Like we have people on the podcast, right? We have
That's
people we have people on PM 101 stuff, so like talking about informational videos, like analyzing a move or how to play a certain character, if you will like a certain character, all that kind of stuff that revolves around gameplay. We have people working on tutorials, so stuff that was like sorely needed in the Project M community, like a PAL guide or how to play Project M, like an updated how to play, where to find Project M and how to install it. So it's really cool to have all these different facets kind of collected under one umbrella, the umbrella of Nexus, to make something, to serve as a purposeful engine for people to make content for Project M.
Yeah.
So now that we're what were you gonna say, Sabre?
Oh, I was just gonna say. On top of that, if you're someone who's in that situation, one of the things I want to do with Nexus is reach out to top players of various characters and say, if you've wanted to put out tutorials or guides and felt like you didn't really have the resources or the ability to make all of that happen, then this is definitely the opportunity. We have people on this team who do graphic design, who do animation, who do video editing, who do script writing, who do voiceovers. If there's something that you're not comfortable with, but you want to help make content, talking to us is the way to make that happen. And hopefully people realize and take advantage of that.
Yeah, and we need all sorts of different things that people might not realize that they can help us with. Like, for example, if you watch an SSBM tutorials video, you'll notice that they constantly show tournament footage, right? But how do they find the right bits and clips to use? Well, they need to watch those VODs and find examples for things that need to be shown on screen. Well, we need people to do that for us too. So even if you don't have any particular video editing talents, you're not creative or anything, we still need people like you who can watch a video and look for something, right? People who can timestamp and fact check and look for bits of information that might be useful. We need people for all sorts of different things. So if you're interested at all in contributing to any of what we're doing, then please let us know and join the Nexus Discord server. Hit us up there.
Yeah,
and have fun.
Yeah. So it's sort of been the She and Sabre show so far.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask Moto, what got you into? Okay, how'd you get into the Nexus?
Yeah, I was actually about to ask you that.
And well, I was there when she was talking about like there should be a hub for all kind of Project M content.
So you're one of the OGs too.
Yeah, they chose to left that part out for whatever reason. I don't know.
Damn.
You weren't saying anything while we were talking.
I
about
was
that.
saying stuff. I was like, "Oh, it should be called this, and there should be this kind of content." And you were like, "No."
You were mumbling stuff, and we couldn't hear you.
Everything Flarp says is a joke.
Good.
No.
That was definitely my approach to it.
Yeah, I got brought on because of I made the Smashing Ground Season 15 hype reel, and Echo saw that on Reddit, and he was like, "Hey, do you want to join this content creation server for people who make Smash content?" And I was like, "Yeah." So I joined that, and then there's a role in the server. It was just called Project M Nexus at the time because they didn't think people were gonna look at it for whatever reason. And I was like, "Ooh, is this a thing that's been teased on Reddit all around?" And she was like, "Yeah." I was like, I think I was like, "Do you need people?" or something like that. And then I was brought on from there, and now I'm
So you
doing
finagled your way in.
Yeah, basically through my pure talent and wit.
We fixed it after that. Now I think it says, funnily enough, someone messaged me, David Kimball, who's one of the Nexus staff, messaged me at some point asking, what's the purple role in the content server called something content things? Because I was too lazy to think of the name, but that's the role now. I just changed the name so it was something less obvious. But yeah, we've definitely had a few people who joined the content server because we forgot that now it's all private, but at some point all the Nexus discussion was public just because it wasn't really something we planned on making into a serious thing that became what it did. And so we definitely had a lot of people join just because word of mouth, or they joined the server and asked what was going on, stuff like that.
Yeah, but that's how we got a lot of our team. So I mean, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're still getting new people as of a few days ago, right?
Yeah, we're definitely still getting new people, and
Yeah.
hopefully after launch, we'll have a fair number more who see this and go, oh, this is something I would either be able to contribute to or would like to contribute to. Since right now,
even if you would like to contribute to it and you don't think that you can, you should still ask anyway and see if there's anything that you can help out with, because we're always looking for people who are motivated and dedicated to help the Project M community, and like dedication and following through is so huge for something like this, a project like this where there's deadlines and stuff. I mean, it's not most lower jobs won't really have deadlines, but still there's always something that you can help out with. Even if you think that you're not talented, there's always something that you can, put time and effort towards to help us out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not talented. Look where I am.
Yeah, and we're making
put you in
sick
charge of
YouTube.
something?
We're making sick YouTube money off of this.
We're not.
We are not.
Money.
Sabre's
record-
just roll. Okay. Go.
Yeah, for the record, we're not monetizing any of this.
Yeah,
Definitely not profiting off any of it.
There's too many working members, too many working, moving parts in this whole group to have to denote out money and who gets what and how much, who put in effort. That's not.
Yeah.
We're doing this all for free, specifically for the Project M community, and that kind of, because it's not our job, it kind of, I don't know, it.
Yeah, that's what she wants you to think.
Yeah, she's actually
using his
making
monogrammed
cash.
Kleenex, and Sabre's jumping into his money pool.
Oh, absolutely.
If only.
But anyway, that was kind of the origin of Nexus. We've steadily grown since we started back in August, and we're launching on Monday, the 15th, hopefully.
This is gonna go up Monday the 15th.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Fingers crossed for that.
Yep, hopefully all that goes well, since obviously we're recording this before the 15th.
No, we're recording this live. What are you talking about?
Way to ruin the movie magic.
I dated our content.
My bad.
We're actually recording this after the 15th.
Use your time machine to send it back.
Okay, so do you guys want to move on to one of the other topics on our agenda?
Sure. It says, what do we got? Project M in 2018 and reflecting on 2017.
Oh boy, that's a big topic.
That's a lot of things.
Sabre, do you want to talk about 2017 and what happened with the circuit and all that stuff? Do you know anything about that?
Oh, I know a lot about that. Okay. So, obviously 2016 was a fantastic year for PM. There was a lot of uncertainty in 2015, what was going to happen, especially with the PMDT shutting down. And then in 2016, we started off the year with Final Boss, which was nuts. We had the circuit, we had Olympus, we had Big Belk, we had some of the biggest tournaments we'd ever had. And then coming into 2017, we were really looking like we were going to build off all that hype and keep going. And in a lot of ways we did, despite losing some of the most important members of our scene. If you think about the people who really ran Project M, that's what I'm about to get to. If you think about the people who made things happen in 2016, the two people that immediately come to mind, at least for me, are Oracle and Atlas. They're the two who ran the 2016 circuit. Atlas was really responsible for Olympus happening. Oracle was one of the big TOs for LTC. And Oracle,
if I recall correctly, Atlas went to, I think, Korea to spend time with family or something.
Yeah.
And so he couldn't help out even if he wanted to. There's just only so much he could do when he's continents away,
Yeah, exactly. So in 2017, basically, we still had fantastic majors. We had some of the biggest tournaments the Project M's ever had. We had new top players coming up like Fuzz, Switch to some extent, Tech Boy. We had people breaking into that top level. And even though our circuit ended up shutting down most of the way through the year, things came up with Oracle, and because he was the main person responsible for the circuit, it just really never finished out. We're still not sure if there's going to be a circuit for 2018 yet. That's yet to be decided, although there have been discussions about it.
Atlas is now back in the U.S.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
So he could, I don't know if he actually would want to.
He hasn't been involved in any of the discussions so far, but we'll see where that goes. But yeah, so basically, 2017, PM proved, at least to me, that you could take away genuinely all of the things the Project M has right now, and we'd go back to where we were within a year. We don't need any individual tournament. We don't need Olympus. We don't need a circuit. It all helps, but we don't need any of it, and we'll keep going regardless. And PM will keep growing in 2018. We established the first top 50 ranking by the end of 2016. Obviously, came out in 2017, and there's one they'll be releasing pretty soon for ranking for 2017. So look.
Nexus exclusive.
Be on the lookout for that. Definitely not Nexus exclusive. We don't pay enough to have Strong Bad on the team. And by enough, I mean anything. But yeah, so PM is in a really good spot right now. We're still growing. We're still showing what we can do, even despite some setbacks. So I think we're looking really good for 2018.
So when I wrote 2018, something I found interesting was, if you look at the major tournaments of last year, it took like 4 or 5 months for a real PM major to happen.
Yeah.
In 2017, and now the first 2 weeks of 2018, there's a 200 entrant tournament.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. Just looking through PM rank data, one of the big things I noticed is that there were tournaments that happened. Like Flex Zone was a pretty notable tournament. You had Philly Championships. You had things with a lot of top players. But at no point were all of the top 4 players in the same room at the same time until almost 6 months into the year, which was Bigger Belk. Because you had Switch, Sosa, and Malachi all in the same room. But never were those 3 and Thunders all at the same tournament until Bigger Belk. And you're getting 3 of those 4 2 weeks into the year now at WeTech those 3. So that'll be really exciting. Yeah. Even if Thunders, for those who don't know, Thunders is essentially retired from competing. He's still gone to a couple things. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So
it's the Nexus scoop.
This is not a Nexus exclusive thing. He announced it after he won Fair and Balanced. Basically, he just wasn't enjoying competing. Doesn't want to take it seriously anymore because he didn't like the pressure. Because he traveled to just about everything he could possibly gone to in 2017, and I think that was a lot. So he went out, obviously, to play Poundaz, which was last week, and did not play DK at all. I think he lost in bracket twice, playing mostly Falcon, and then, like, some Spaces and Marth or something like that. Like, he was just playing to have fun. We don't know what he's going to do at WeTech those. I think he's currently first seed for the tournament, which is obviously assuming that he plays seriously, but we'll see. Either way, though, it'll be really exciting.
That's kind of understandable, though, because, like, when you're the top, like undeniably the top for so long, where else can you go but down? It's just so much pressure.
Yeah, I mean, you can really see. I mean, I think really for anyone in PM, there's so much. One of the good and bad things about being a PM player is that there's so much pride for small things. There's so much regional pride. There's so much character pride. So I think you can see anytime he beats Sosa, anytime Sosa beats him, NorCal or SoCal pop off. Anytime either of those players beat Switch or Malachi, their whole coast pops off. And that's a lot of pressure for the top players. And he's been doing that for a year and a half now. So, full respect to him. Hopefully it works out.
That's also a really interesting, like, motivation for getting into PM. Like, why PM is so interesting is because you do have the whole coast on your shoulders sometimes if you get good enough.
Yeah. Like, that's something that I think Melee players have really moved away from. Because you can see back in, like, if you watch the Melee documentary, you can see back in, like, last decade, people really cared about coastal rivalries. They really cared about representing the East Coast or the West Coast. And if you talk to Melee players now, like, they might care about representing their region, but even then, not really. They're mostly playing for themselves or for their friends, because the game has grown big enough that it's not a tight-knit community on each coast the way it used to be. And I think that's where PM is right now, is I think where in that place Melee was a little while ago. Is
when Mango wins, it's about Mango winning, not about SoCal winning.
Yeah, it's not about SoCal beating Florida or SoCal beating. There's still that little bit of a storyline where it's the U.S. versus Sweden, but I think that's really just because kind of the history of Mango with the whole USA chant and stuff like that. It's really not so much a regional thing anymore at a top level. It's just player versus player, and I think PM really isn't there. So definitely adds some pressure for the top players.
But it kind of adds to the glory too, because you have, instead of like your fans being your only supporting role, you have your whole community. You know, when you fly out to a tournament, you have your whole group of friends at home cheering you on. Your whole coast, your whole state,
your whole crew
cheering you on, because you represent so much more than just yourself, like you would in Melee.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's I know that has been motivation for some top players. Fuzz is one of my best friends in the community. I've talked to him about it, and he really enjoys being able to feel like he's representing an entire region and having those people supporting him and feeling like he's doing this for his community. And I think that's absolutely an empowering thing for some people. So it goes both ways. But yeah, so basically, to move back off of that tangent, Thunders is the first seed for We Tech Those 3 based on his winning Firm Balanced over Malachi. But we don't know if he's going to play DK at all. He went to both Poi Poundas and We Tech Those, I believe, because he had already committed to go to those before deciding to retire from competition. With that being said, obviously, he sandbagged pretty much at Poi Poundas to some extent, although obviously credit deserves to be given to the two people who eliminated him, which were Blank and Cawmaster from Washington.
My boy.
So, yeah, we don't really know how that's going to play out, and then we can pretty much expect what's going to happen with a lot of the other top players. We know what to expect from Malachi, we know what to expect from Switch and Hyperflame and Flip and all of those guys. So, it'll be a really interesting bracket, no matter how Thunders plays.
Do we really know what to expect from Flip, though? Because
I was gonna
did you see the picture of his finger on Twitter?
That's true. So Flip has been having some really serious finger problems for quite some time now.
He like broke his finger or something a few months ago.
He's
and
right
ever
index
since,
finger,
that's why his results have been slipping in the past few tournaments, because he can't use I think that's his wave dashing and shield dropping finger.
Yeah, he said it is. How else
and it's
would you
like,
explain
if you
him
look at
losing
that picture on Twitter, it's like twice the size now of
it looks
his middle
really
finger.
bad. Like I've
he
been
just got
through some
ranked
stuff
below
with my hands.
Kais.
Yeah, he did just get ranked below Kais, which is not notably that's not the first time that's happened.
Yeah.
I think December of last year actually, they released a PR that also had Kais above Flip, and then Flip's results started looking up locally. He started doing well again nationally, and he ended up first after that season. But that's not a super new trend, is for Kais to be really competitive with Flip, and especially now that Kais has been breaking out on a national level, we'll see what happens between those two, because I think that's a super interesting dynamic within their region.
CT in general is just really cool.
They're
so lively and energetic and supportive of their people, except for Flip.
and there's a lot of good players there too. A lot of hidden bosses.
Yeah, absolutely. If you go down their PR, I mean, obviously their top 2 are top 20 level threats. HMO4 is kind of a hidden boss. King Coney's definitely been having some breakout performances this year.
Yeah, HMO4 took out Shiny Zubat Blacklisted.
Yeah, and Zubat, obviously top 50 player in 2016. Probably not going to be top 50 in 2017. No spoilers. But,
spoilers.
Oh shit! I definitely thought he was.
No, Flarp best Luigi. Who are we kidding here?
Yeah.
Hey.
But yeah, so in general, we'll see. CT has a lot of hidden bosses. I think that's definitely one of the regions that could have some breakout performances. I don't know how seriously Ghouli's been taking the game again.
He's retired and in Air Force, so.
That's your answer then.
He's just all the way
he's
gone.
Gone. At least for now.
I don't know. I saw him on the recent PR. He hadn't been on a couple PRs, so I thought he was back. But yeah, so we'll see what happens with CT. Definitely some potential for them to make upsets at We Tech those. Yeah.
King Coney, actually. If you've seen his tweets at all, he's had quite the drive to make top 50 for this year. Yeah,
King Coney, I've talked to him a little bit. The dude's super driven, super good. I I think he really wants to prove himself as not just a local level threat, but regional or national. And he has that potential, I think.
He's currently the honorary number 69 on PM rank.
Do you guys know which tournaments we might be seeing these players in? Like, what majors are coming up for Project M?
Well, do we really know at this time?
I mean, we know even Bigger Bulk and Smash and Splash 4 are like the big ones confirmed so far. But
yeah, I know more than that, but I probably shouldn't say more than that.
No leakies.
Yeah. But yeah, so there will be, to put it this way, there's going to be no shortage of hype tournaments to see these guys at if you want to see them play in 2018 on something larger than a local level. That's
I mean, Connecticut will most likely come out to Blacklisted 4 because that's probably going to happen.
If Blacklisted continues, which it's been a pretty successful series, I don't know why it wouldn't continue, then I would imagine we'd see them there.
Well, speaking of Blacklisted and the Massachusetts scene, which is where I live, do we know what's going on?
Except for Sabre.
And me.
Yeah. Do we know what's going on with the Smashing Grounds yet?
Oh, so for those uninformed, Smashing Grounds is the Massachusetts weekly tournament for PM/Melee. And they just had a venue change, and we don't know where they're going to go.
So the weeklies have stopped for the next period of time. How long, we don't know. But I doubt it would be more than 2 months, but...
But if you're in the Massachusetts area and you're looking for a cool tournament...
Oh boy, he's going to say.
Oh boy.
Why don't you say it, because it's your tournament.
Come to Excelsior Comics and Games.
Every
The
Saturday
premiere. It's on 8 Waltham Street in Massachusetts.
Getting a little bit
That's actually the
advertising
local that
there.
I go to, so if you enjoy me and my
If you
stuff
want to see
and play with me
Sheecacaa in real life, then you can do that.
and get bodied by a Bowser in real life.
I've heard he actually looked like Bowser. So if you
Who said that?
if someone
Oh, you know,
if someone
my
can
hair's
go
getting
see
a
that
little
and
longer.
get pictures, I'd like confirmation.
My hair's getting a little longer, so it is kind of Bowsery.
Remember that guy at Excelsior who was like, have you ever seen those guys' videos? What's his name? Sheecacaa3.
Oh, dude, that was amazing. Okay, so I'm sitting there playing, and like two feet from me, right? There's this dude playing this other guy at Excel, and he's like, "Man, you play Bowser? Oh, Bowser's so cool. Have you ever seen this guy who makes these YouTube videos? Oh, he's so cool." And I'm like, you mean me? And he's like, "Wait, what?" And it was just so cool. I love meeting my fans in real life and getting to play sets with them and stuff, and even online too. If you ever see me online and want to play with me or whatever, just say that you like my stuff and I'll be more than willing to play with you, or at a local or whatever. Not that I go to those very often.
Yeah, I think for most content creators, that's definitely really one of the best feelings you can have.
If only I had fans.
If only you didn't make meme videos and made real stuff.
Hey, that's a market that's not filled. That is my market. I have a monopoly
The
on this
meme market? Really?
You don't
That's
think
TM
that,
meme market.
you don't think that the Project M community has enough memes?
Not in video form.
Yeah.
Because Moto is supplying half of them.
Yeah, exactly.
They're all about Sonic.
Mostly about Sonic.
Mostly
There's a lot
about
of
Knuckles.
That's also true.
Okay, do we want
Wait for
to
someone to say
move
that
more
Knuckles
back
thing.
on topic? Not that
What
I
were we
even
talking
remember
about?
what the topic was.
We tech
I
those,
think
I
it
think.
was a little bit
Yeah,
about
we tech those. So does anyone,
It's coming up.
have
I mean, it
anything else
already
to
happened.
say about we tech those?
I'm hoping
I'm going.
Good makes a great performance again because I haven't seen him since like Supernova 2 at like a real big thing. So I want to see him get like top 16. I would
Last
love.
big thing he was at
He's-
was Project M Showdown 6 or 7.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
not good at numbering.
MDVA.
Yeah, he
like,
beat. I know he
Hyperflame.
took a good win though. Yeah, he beat Hyper. I was thinking Twitch, but Switch was at Supernova. Yeah, he definitely pulled a good win there. We'll see what he can do at We Tech those.
Well, he
Definitely a
seemed
lot
to
of
play
hitters on the East
me.
Coast.
He seemed to play against me, so I hope he doesn't do well, actually.
Oh, now I,
I
really
think
hope
you
he
should
does
take
well.
him, Flarp. It's a horrible matchup with Sonic. You got this.
I
We just
don't
hope you
know.
do better than he does.
I'm terrible at the Luigi Sonic matchup,
Yeah, I know.
which is weird because it's one of Luigi's only winning matchups. Whoa.
Hey, he wins versus Bowser.
Okay, I didn't say that was his only one.
He said
Got
it.
your
Okay.
soapbox over there.
That's why I have a absolutely losing record versus you for the most part. That's the only reason.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
it's
it.
not like
It's not the.
it's not like
the-
Flarp's super good. No,
No,
Flarp's
I'm bad. I'm getting carried by my gimmick character.
Well, to be fair,
Yeah.
have you seen me? Have you
We
seen
all
my
are.
videos?
Like 1,000 views, right?
More, hey, 10,000, more than that.
Ooh, I'm sorry, sir.
You know how many views? Okay, this actually kind of gets back into the reasoning for Nexus to start, but I actually made a graph that's in one of my update videos that I'm going to post after Nexus launches. All right, it's going to be actually tied with Nexus, so I have a personal ad that I'm making for Nexus, and in it I kind of made a graph of my YouTube videos and like the views over time, and you can see that like over like the course of all of my content stuff, like the views just kind of kept decreasing, right? Like I think Too Many Mains is my biggest video right now. It has 40,000 views, which is actually quite a lot for a PM video.
Yeah, it is.
And King of Pain 3 has, I think it's like almost 30,000 views. But my newest stuff, like the reason why I made Nexus, my JoJo video, I think it has 2,000 views, right? It got like 1,000 on, which is a lot for, not,
For these
it's not
days.
what I'm used to getting.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
If you're
I
a
think-
peasant like us.
Yeah, I think there's a
And
big discrepancy between the views that someone who's had kind of the old subscriber base from before PM stopped being so mainstream. You kind of still keep those views. So I think definitely like 2,000 for me is more of what I'm used to, but I think for you who was around and established long before that, definitely would be a little different to get used to.
Yeah, when I posted my very first Bowser combo video, right? The very first King of Pain, it got like actually like 10,000 views on the first day. Like, the full first like two days, the first cycle. And like comparing that to what content currently is, I think it just shows that there really is a divide now. People aren't as interested in Project M, and I think what they want is informational content for Project M. Like, I think it's what people desperately need to kind of increase the growth of the community, right? We need people to fill in those misconceptions and to say that the game is still alive, more than just attending tournaments and more than just streaming them. There needs to be kind of this growth for another like section of the community, right? And I think this was sorely needed. Like that's why Nexus is what it is. It's because there was a market there or like a deficiency there that wasn't getting filled.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. And hopefully Nexus is at least moving in the right direction, but we're always open to feedback from people who want to let us know what holes they still think need to be filled in terms of content in the PM community and things like that, so that we can tailor things more towards what the community wants to see.
All right. So I think we've been going for like 40 minutes now.
Yeah, I think we've hit pretty much all the big
I
points.
think we're ready to wrap this inaugural podcast up. What do you stop laughing when I say inaugural? It's like
I
when
don't
I
even
said
think that's a word, isn't it?
it is a word.
No,
Inaugural.
It's a word. It's not that funny of a word, but it's a word.
It's funny when he says it.
I don't know why.
Okay.
Flarp is
so-
funny.
Flarp is funny. That's why it's his job to do the podcast.
He's a funny guy.
It's my
He's
job,
funny
too.
Looking, funny sounding.
It's more it was my job first.
I guess.
Okay, so
Alrighty
so
then.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
So
God, I knew you were gonna. Okay, here we go. So that's the end of the first podcast. I've been Flarp.
I've been Moto.
do you know what's gonna happen for the next one, so they know to tune in for that?
I
What
don't.
kind of interesting things that might show up in
Oh,
the next one?
some of your favorite Project M players might be in the next one. I don't know yet because I'm stupid.
So as far as the structure of how these podcasts are going to go, we're probably going to have top players as guests and stuff, talking about various things that only they have knowledge about, their input on things too. So the first podcast was just to kind of go over what the Nexus thing is about, but future podcasts will be more general, talking with guest starring top players and stuff. So there's more to look forward to. If this podcast wasn't your thing, I don't know how you listen to 40 minutes of it without it being your thing. Other podcasts might be more interesting to you.
Yeah, and if you were listening to this going, man, this is great, but if you took away Sabre and She, this would be really boring because those two are my favorite. We will have other guests.
I know. I was thinking that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we'll show up in podcasts in the future.
Yeah, we'll probably be in occasional ones too. Because I'm involved with a lot of stuff, so I'm sure I'll end up, if we do one about PM rank, I'd be involved with that, things of that nature. So we'll be around, but expect Moto and Flarp to be coordinating those and posting them on a pretty regular basis.
We're holding down the fort.
Yep.
Moto.
Yeah. So do we want to?
We're the main men.
All right, you can do your outro now.
Okay. So.
Casey.
Hey, I'm Flarp.
I'm Motobug.
I'm Sabre.
I'm Sheecacaa3.
That is so much more energy than the rest of us.
Hey,
see
you gotta make it or break it.
Oh my fucking god, guys.
Okay, She, do you want to do your line?
Oh,
Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you soon.
bye.
See you later.
There we go. Okay.
Perfect.
Bye, guys.
That was pretty good.
That was good. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Go for
This
it.
time I'm not gonna mess up. Okay. 3. What? God damn.
Jesus Christ.
God damn it.
Why is it so funny?
It's
not that
That's
funny.
It's funny. I'm really trying not to mess this up right now.
Flarp is just funny naturally.
Yeah, he's just a funny guy.
Oh, thanks, guys. It really means a lot. So anyway.
I'm crying. Fuck.
It's a good start. Oh, waffeln. Put this at the end of the video. That'd be neat.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Part of the end card outro.
Yeah.